Welcome to your strong class for this month. If you haven't already, roll out your mat, come and join me in a seated position. Maybe one leg is tucked in, the other one is just resting in front. Your hips can be raised on a block or a cushion if you'd prefer. And when you've found your seat, just close down the eyes and let's begin with just a few focused breaths. So inhale in through the nose if that feels okay to do so. Big, deep, full inhale. Exhale out through the nose or the mouth, whichever suits you better today. Let's take another two of those. So inhale in through the nose. A big, deep, full inhale. Then exhale out, long and smooth. One more time. Let's inhale in. Big, deep, full inhale. And then exhale, make it long, make it smooth. And at the end of that exhale, blink open your eyes. And we are going to start our strong class today. So bringing your left hand down, let's raise our right arm up towards the sky. Take a little bend over to that left side, really reaching out at the right side of the body there. Lovely, inhale those hands up towards the sky and then take them over to the left side, right side. Inhale those hands up again. Let's see if we get it right this time. Exhale over to the left. And then up to the sky. Let's exhale over to the right. Really nice. Bring those hands in front of you. Take a little walk forward with your hands. You can stay on your fingertips or you can bring the forearms down towards your mat. And you're just wanting to stretch out through the glute area. You'll feel it more on one side than the other. Pause here for a moment. Take that walk back in, swap over those legs. Take a little walk forward again. So you'll be feeling it now on the other side. Stretching out through the glute area, maybe in the hip as well, you might feel it. Walking yourself back in. We will take our right hand and hold our left knee. Have your left fingertips behind you. Inhale, tall. Exhale, take a little twist over that left shoulder. And if the gaze wants to follow, you let it. But if it prefers to stay in a neutral position, just leave it there. Pause for one moment. And then keeping your hand on your knee, take your back hand off the floor. Take a big semicircle over your head. Bring it down to your opposite knee. And then tuck your chin into your chest. Really round through the spine here. Before you lift your head back up, your hands can come off and they are crossed at the elbows. So let's see now if they can make this sort of shape, a cross shape. And perhaps some of you might bring the backs of your hands together. Some of you may even find a double bind. These are our eagle arms and we might use those later. So either of these options, elbows up to your shoulder height, elbows slightly push away from you, and you get a lovely stretch through the back of the shoulders. Pausing here. Before we release those hands and take that on the other side. So now our left hand's holding our right knee and our right fingertips are behind us. Take that inhale to grow really tall. And then as we exhale, twist over that right shoulder, letting our gaze follow if it wants to. Pausing here for a moment. Before you come back round, keeping your hand on your knee and your back hand does that big semicircle over your head. It finds the empty knee. Chin comes into chest. And you round through the spine again. Head comes up, hands come off, and you should have your arms crossed the other way. So let's see how your eagle arms are on this side. And do be aware that it can feel different on different sides. And that's all due to our shoulder mobility. Over time though, it will even up, I promise. So you're in any of these variations for your eagle arms. Lovely, untangle those hands. We are going to come into a 4-point kneeling position on our mats with our knees underneath our shoulders and our hands underneath, not our knees under our shoulders, with our knees under our hips and our hands underneath our shoulders. Let's inhale, drop our belly, lift our chest. Exhale, round through the spine, our chin tucks in. This is our cat-cow. Let's take it together again, inhaling, dropping belly, finding your cow pose. Exhale, rounding through the spine into your cat. One more time. Inhale, find that cow pose. Exhale, round into your cat pose. Finding a neutral spine. Just pat those hands forward, one little hand's distance. tucking toes and finding our first downward facing dog. So for me at the start of a practice, I definitely keep a bent knee and I like to pedal out my legs, and you can take this option as well. So pedal in your downward facing dog. Take any movement that you want to here. We are going to walk up now towards our hands really, really slowly. Meet me at the top of the mat, just hung over in a deep forward fold or a ragdoll type position. Just let yourself hang. If you want to hold opposite elbow and swing side to side, you are more than welcome to do so. Keeping your head really heavy, letting it be the last thing that comes up. Just start to unroll through that spine. Coming all the way up to standing, and when you reach there, really reach up towards the sky. Let's bend over to the left side, just taking hold of your left wrist there and coming into a banana type shape. Lovely, reach up towards the sky, take it over to the right side, maybe holding the right wrist as you do so. Lovely, and then exhale all the way back down towards the mat, and you can keep a bent knee through all of these deep forward folds. Let's inhale, hands find shins or thighs, halfway lift. Back down to our deep forward fold. I'm going to step back with the right leg. And I'm in a runner's lunge here. If you want to bring your back knee down to the mat straight away, you are more than welcome to do so. Otherwise, just pause here for a moment. And then you can ground that right hand and the left hand can come all the way up to the sky. Back knee can be lifted or back knee can be down. Bring that left hand down, and now everybody brings their back knee to the mat. Let's just come up into a low lunge, bringing our hands into prayer. We're going to twist around to the left side. Perhaps you hover in the air. Perhaps your right elbow tucks on the outside of your left knee. Here you can stay with your back knee down. You can, if you want, kick up that back knee. Bring that back knee down. Twist back round to the front of your mat. Hands frame your front foot. Step back for me into downward facing dog. Lovely, taking a pedal here or any movement that you want to, or finding a stillness if that is where you want to be today. Can you keep your hands and feet where they are? Roll your shoulders forward over your wrists. You're in one long line of energy and you're in your plank. And if your plank today is on your toes, then you're in position. If your plank today is with your knees down, then bring them to the mat. Either way, you're pushing that floor away. Let's bend our knees and find downward facing dog again. Take that again, let's roll forward. Toes or knees, it's your choice. You're just pushing that floor away. Bend the knees, downward facing dog. And then the right leg lifts a little bit and comes between the hands. And if it doesn't work for you to take that movement, bring your left knee down to the mat. Step your right foot forward. Hands are going to frame that front right foot, and you can tuck the back toe and lift the back knee if you want to. And we're in runner's lunge on the other side. So this can all be taken with the back knee down or the back knee lifted. Let's ground our left hand. The right arm is going to reach open this time. So you're taking an easy twist on this side. Right hand comes down. Everybody's going to lower their back knee if it isn't already. Come on up into your low lunge. And then hands come together in prayer. Twisting this time to the right side, hovering up here in the air or hooking on the outside of your right knee. And staying there, we can also tuck our back toe and lift our back knee again. It is really up to you, your choice. Lovely, maybe the back knee comes back down. Hands frame the front foot. We are going to step ourselves forward, back into that deep forward fold. And then really slowly again, unravel that spine to come on up to a standing position at the front of your mat. And you are in Tadasana. Pausing here for a moment before we start our standing section of our practice, knowing that we can take this at whatever level that we need to take it today. So taking an inhale, taking an exhale, and then sitting that bottom back in chair. You know I always like to start with a chair, or it always comes into the class at some point. So the bottom goes back, the bottom goes down. We kick up the toes just to check that we have the weight in our heels. So we don't want our knees too far forward. Everything is backwards. and you've found your chair. Have you found your chair? How about we sink a little lower? Can you sink a little lower? Okay, now we're holding our chair, hands in prayer. Hands can be up, hands can be on our hips. Lots of options here. It is your choice. Hold your chair for a moment. You know what I'm going to say. Just one more breath before we ground into that left leg and the right leg rises up. Now you can stay here in stork, or if you want to take eagle with me today, take a little bend into that standing leg and the right leg starts to wrap round. This is eagle, eagle, eagle. They're all versions of eagle. You choose where you are today. Maybe that right leg is wrapping round, and if you want the arms are out in front of you and the right arm sweeps under, and you find those eagle arms that we took at the start of the class. I'm a little bit wobbly. And back in, there we go. Holding your eagle. We're holding it for a couple of breaths. So finding your balance, finding that drishti to focus on. One more breath. Lovely, before we come on out of our eagle and we step back with our right foot, and our right foot comes to about 45 degrees, and maybe you want to step that right foot out to the side a little bit because we're in warrior one and we want those hips square to the top of the mat. So finding your warrior one, sinking into that front heel, maybe the hands come up overhead, pausing here. One or two breaths here in our warrior one. Before we bring our hands behind our back and we interlace those hands and we open up through the chest. See if there's a hinge at the hips. Can you come forward a little? Maybe it's a little more. Maybe you find a version of humble warrior. So I'm coming down. Maybe some of you are bringing left shoulder inside of left knee and you're finding this variation of humble warrior, but there are so many variations of humble warrior there. You find wherever you are today. It is a strong pose and we are holding it for a few breaths. So steadying your breath, taking one more breath here before you rise all the way back up. Let's loosen those hands, bring them in front of us into prayer and pivot on your back foot so you're more in a high lunge. Hinge at the hips and come forward. You're into arrow lunge. You can stay there or your hands can come behind you with palms faced downwards. Squeeze those hands a little bit more together and you'll feel the backs of those arms switching on. Your hands can be on hips or your hands can stay in prayer. Your choice. You're in your arrow lunge, pausing here. Before those arms come back in front of you into prayer, we're going to all twist to the left side, maybe hooking that right elbow on the outside of that left knee. We're back into this twisted lunge. Your back knee can come down if that is where you would like it to be. Taking another breath here before we open back round to the front of the mat and turn to the right side of your mat, having your feet at 45 degrees. So this should be about maybe a leg and a bit's distance. We are going to sink down into our goddess. So sinking into our goddess, remember it is not a gym squat. It's a goddess. It's like you're sinking down, maybe against the back of a wall. We sink low. Have you found your goddess? Can you sink a little lower? Maybe a little lower. Arms can be in prayer, hips or overhead, crossed at those wrists. And I think we should do 10 little micro pulses. Are you ready? Are you coming with me? 1, 2. They're tiny pulses. 3, 4, 5, 6, regretting these, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come on back up. Heel toe that back foot in just one time. So your stance is a little shorter. And we are going to sink low into Malasana, or as low as you can go for a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're in Malasana. We're coming back up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're up. Pivot on the back foot. Hands frame the front foot. Your back foot might need to go back a little bit more, and we're going to step back into plank. let's hold our plank. Can you push that floor away? If any of you want a little bit extra, kick up that right foot. Three-legged plank. If any of you want to bring your knees to the mat, bring your knees to the mat. It is your practice, it's your choice. We're taking one more breath in any of these variations of plank before we either bring our knees to the mat and we sit back into child's pose, or we find our downward facing dog. This is your moment to take a breath. So find that breath. If you are in child's pose, maybe you find a downward facing dog now. We'll all meet here. And then you look up at your hands, take a slow walk up to the top of the mat. When you get to the top of the mat, just hang just for a moment. Unravel that spine again, let the head come up last. Find your standing pose at the top of the mat, your Tadasana. Take a breath. Before we sit back into chair again, this is our last chair, so make it as low as you can go. How low are you going today? Have a little tuck of the pelvis if you have this excessive curvature, like I tend to have. I sometimes call it Beyonce butt. So if you're like me and you've got a tendency to do this, a little tilt of the pelvis is just going to help you a little bit there, create a stronger stance. We're holding our chair, we're lifting up our toes. I'm chatting you through it. We're lifting our toes to make sure the weight is in our heels. So if you can't lift your toes, move all your weight backwards a little bit. One more breath. And then ground into the right leg. The left leg is going to lift up this time, and you are in stalk on the other side. So you can stay in stalk, or you can take a little bend in the standing leg and wrap your left leg round. And as I said, as soon as it comes in front, that is eagle. That's eagle. That's eagle, okay? My foot does find the back of my shin, but I have been practicing a while. If you want your hands in front and you want the eagle arms, let's bring the left arm underneath. And you find those eagle arms on this side. And we hold our eagle balance. We focus on a point in front of us. We take our breath and we pause for just a moment. One more breath. Before you untangle any arms and any legs, you step back with that left leg. I'm going to turn around so you can see me on the other side. And the back foot is going to come to 45 degrees. My hips are square to the top of the mat. So if you want to widen your stance a little bit, you take that stance there. And we are in warrior one. Hands can be raised up if you want them. Your choice, as always. And we're finding that humble warrior. So can we bring our hands behind our back and open up your chest first, get a lovely little stretch there. And then hinge at the hips. Maybe you come to here, or perhaps your right shoulder starts to come inside of your right knee. We are pausing here. We're taking a breath. It really is quite a strong pose, this humble warrior. So I am feeling it for you as you're here with me now. You are doing great. One more breath here. Before we rise back up, releasing those hands, pivoting on the back foot so you're in a high lunge, and then hinging forward. So we're one long line of energy into arrow lunge. If you want, the hands can go behind you, and then the little fingertips sort of squeeze together. The palms are face down. You are in a very strong variation of arrow lunge here. We're holding for just a breath or two. You are doing great. We are nearly through to the end. Bring those hands in front of you so they are in prayer. Twist round to the right side, hooking that left elbow on the outside of the left knee. You're in your twisted lunge. Back knee can be down if you want it to. Taking one more breath here. Before you open up to the left side of your mat this time, bringing those feet to 45 degrees, sinking back into that goddess. So we are sinking down as low as we can go. We're not sticking our bottoms out. We're almost sinking down a wall, and our knees are tracking over our toes. So maybe we've got to come up a little higher and refine that position. It's those 10 micro pulses. Where would you like your arms to be? There's lots of variations. Let's take 10. Are you ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you'll be pleased to know there is no malasana. Just pivot round to the top of your mat. Hands frame your front foot. Step back into your plank. From here, you can be on your toes, on your knees, or you can kick up that left leg this time. We are holding our plank. We are super, super strong. You've done really, really well. We're not quite finished, but you've done really, really well so far. Let's bring that left foot down if it's raised. Just take a moment in child's pose or downward facing dog. We are not going to stay here very long though, because we have just 1 or 2 last little bits to do. So if you're not in downward facing dog, come and find downward facing dog for me now. And let's bring the left knee down towards the mat. Keep that right leg long. Maybe bring your left hand a little bit more into the center of the mat and open out to the right side of your mat. You're in a side plank and you can stay exactly here. Or that bottom leg, the left leg, can go long and you can find this variation of side plank. And if you really want to, you can kick up that top leg and you can find this variation of side plank. This is very strong. If you look closely, I'm wobbling a lot. So you find your side plank and we're holding. I've chatted for a bit, so let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that right hand down and we are going to pivot all the way over to the other side. So bring the right hand more now into the center of the mat. You're opening up to the left side of the mat. Maybe your right knee is down. Maybe your right leg is long. Maybe your left leg is kicked up. And now I'll count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that left hand down, knees to the mat, hips to one side. It wouldn't be a strong class without us doing just a little bit of boat. So let's take a different variation today. Okay, you can either have your feet down on the mat and kick one up at a time, or you can come from both up and put one down at a time. Please choose which variation you want to do. We are going to go for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have both feet up. Hold your boat. Just for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You did really well. Hug those knees into the chest. Give yourself a well-deserved hug. Come and lie down on the mat with me just for this last minute. So we're lying down. We're taking our breath back. Now we're focusing on it just a little bit more, just to slow it down. Let's hug that right knee into the chest. Keep the left leg long. Guide it over to the left side. If you want, the right arm can reach back out. You can gaze over those right fingertips. Focus on your breath coming into the body. Focus on the breath leaving the body. Before you roll back onto your backs, let your left knee come in and meet your right. Give yourself a big squeeze, rock side to side, whatever you want to do here. And then keep the left knee hugged in, let that right leg go long. So we're hugging in that left knee and then gently guiding it over to the right side, rolling onto that right hip, and maybe the left hand comes back out and we gaze over those left fingertips. We're pausing here. We're rolling back onto our backs and just taking a couple of breaths here. We're not taking any breath practice today. We're just taking focused breath, where we just notice the inhale coming into the body and leaving the body. Now, if you have some more minutes, you are welcome to stay in this position. You have definitely earned a rest here. But if you need to get on with your day, then come and make your way up to a seated position with me, however that is most comfortable for you. Meet me here in a seated position. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed your strong class, and I hope to see you on the mat soon. Namaste.